I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of Mark, chapter 9. Let's focus on verses 49 and 50. For everyone will be salted with fire. Now, salt is good, but if the salt should lose its saltiness, how can you make it salty? Have salt among yourselves and be at peace with one another. I heard a comedian once say, I bought some powdered water and I don't know what to add. Perhaps similar logic could be used to explain the uselessness of saltless salt. And theologians have tried to explain this passage from several different angles. Well, first, in the day of Jesus, salt was a valuable commodity. Soldiers were paid partially in salt. The word soldier comes from a Latin term, soldare, which means to give salt. Our word salary comes from the similar Latin word salarium, which means to get salt. So in today's passage, the image of fire is obviously speaking of a trial or a difficult season. And taking this approach, Jesus seems to be saying that our worth will be determined or at least evaluated by how well we endure sufferings. They say people are like tea bags. You never know what's on the inside till you put them in hot water. And the trials that we face bring us to an understanding of the value of our faith. Furthermore, if the trial exposes that we are unfaithful, what good is our religion, which is the outward expression of our faith, which has now been revealed to be worthless? So in such a case, corrupted religion must be scrapped and then hauled away. And true religion must be brought in to establish the proper faith foundation. Continuing with that line of thought, Jesus would be directing his disciples to have peace with one another by seeing each other's individual value to the kingdom. As a soldier, worth his salt, has value to the Roman Empire. You know, another approach to saltiness is that temple sacrifices had to be seasoned with salt as a sign of the permanence of God's covenant. Why? Because salt is a preservative. Leviticus chapter 2, verse 13, you are to season each of your grain offerings with salt, and you must not omit from your grain offering the salt of the covenant with your God. Or what about Romans chapter 12, verse 1? Therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, I urge you to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God, for this is your spiritual worship. So in this case, Jesus would be saying that the trials we endure act as a preservative reminder of God's covenant with us through the Messiah. Trials make us draw near to God and to cry out to Him. And when God responds faithfully, according to His word, well, then our faith and the permanence of the covenant is reminded and our faith is strengthened. If we allow our flesh to compel us to rebel against the Lord in the midst of a trial, well, it would be better to abandon the fleshly path and then return to walking faithfully. The strength of a healthy church is that it holds us accountable, while at the same time encouraging our relationship with the Lord. It helps to remember the Christian life is not absent of conflict. Rather, it is the presence of peace in the midst of conflict which should distinguish us as belonging to Jesus. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And your giving to Groundworks Ministries transforms lives. Would you consider making a donation to Groundworks Ministries today? Because we need your monthly support now more than ever. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. Now, another way to help is to tell people about Groundworks Ministries. Share these podcasts with your friends and family and on your social media. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.